Indigenous realist back in the game, grab a new controller. I'm not materialistic, you can keep the rover. Master Mason, but I'm not Illuminati, you can keep the hover. More like Christ Jehovah, wanna bring priests the world over. Won't let myself be disrespected no matter what the devil throws over. Soon as I step in dude's stream, the show's over. Don't believe in luck, no foreclosure. Finally made it out to trap the feds, did a foreclosure. But I still got them bills like a fork loader. I'm on my mastermind-ish, I demand respect, so fork over. They wanna run me off YouTube because I stole they plate. Now I want the last bite, so turn the fork over. Anybody try to play me, get forked over. Lies is food to me, and go for all the lies. Diarrhea of the mouth, I shit truth out. Never been challenged, I'm properly prepared for an intellectual shootout. Fasted 44 days in jail like hell. Point in time now and let the truth out. Master builder, Sebi Indigenous, cut the dreads all like the roof out. A lot of these dudes closet gaze and I see you, I'ma expose you, let your root out. Liar like Paul, I'm down south, killer like Saul. Jaguar, big cat, you can tell by my paws. Just look at my claws, they gon' remember me like Christ, you can tell by my cross. Constitutional warrior, sovereign by any other names, so just remember your laws. Remember, go against the tribe, the world will remember your laws. You on the payroll, so remember your boss. I'm the truth, so remember you false. Chief of the mud tribe, the ones who remember the fam that was lost. No matter the cost, we in. Indigenous realist, the realist. Indigenous realist, the realist, I'm back again. Indigenous realist, the realist, I'm back to win. Indigenous realist, the realist, I'm back again. Chief, Sebi, Indigenous, the realist, the realist. Gang-stalking is the unspoken and unacknowledged elephant in everyone's room. It is a sensitive topic. The government and the police agencies refuse to acknowledge that it even exists. I am a targeted individual myself, so the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this topic is a very sincere and of a first-hand nature. You are now tuned in to Chief Sebi Indigenous Podcast. Shall we build? Now, there are a lot of people on the internet, in forums, on social media, YouTube, etc., who attempt to enlighten the masses on the topic and realness of gangstalking. But 99% of the people whose works on the topic I have viewed, me personally, are so caught up being actively gangstalked that their fear, anxiety, and paranoia makes them sound like complete psych patients. Don't worry, I've been there before. This is bad because though the topic is real and very dangerous, it will not be taken serious because of the message coming out in such fearful haste. That is an objective of gang stalkers in their community. Now, for the love of humanity and the sincere intention of getting this devilish group of domestic terrorists recognized and maybe even eradicated, I, Chief Sebi Indigenous, fearless leader of the lost and found tribe of Mud, will be doing a comprehensive breakdown of gang stalking and its characteristics, goals, dangers, members, communities, etc., its origins and purposes, etc., etc. I am currently off grid and have a reprieve to be able to look into this topic. Pardon self. To my subscribers, I want to say that this topic is for everyone and it will be ongoing. But I will still be uploading my regular content in vlogs and podcasts also. To anyone who is here for this topic of gang stalking, like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell to all and prepare to learn the who, what, where, when, and how of gang stalking and how to protect yourself. Okay, let's proceed. Gang stalking is a secret society of sorts filled with members who are under oath and obligation to Satan himself without even knowing it. Stalkers are recruited from all walks of life. They could be teachers, parents, doctors, lawyers, police, postmasters, neighbors, etc., etc. From any profession, from any religion, from any and every level of society, from the rich to the poor. Now, the prey of gang stalkers are called targeted individuals. The gang stalking community is used to drive you insane, to make you commit a crime, to make your family and your friends no longer want to be around you or deal with you, to discredit you in your reputation, to deprive you of human contact, to make you lose your children, to extinguish your very bloodline, among many other things that will be discussed later in the other podcasts. Now, most targeted individuals do not know they are targets at all. Most think that they are just going through a stream of bad luck or a series of unfortunate events. And on the flip side, most gang stalkers do not know they are gang stalkers at all, and honestly aren't purely evil people at all. Some of them, that is. In this day and age, we are bombarded with so many distractions and so many illusions that we have stopped using our senses and have stopped paying attention to our surroundings. We look down at our phones all day. We look up at the stars and the illusionary myth of other planets and aliens. We stare at the TV all day, and we talk through and to the phone all day. And how often do we look around? How often do we notice the clouds or the planes or the helicopters or the very ground we walk on? How often do we actually pay attention to who's serving our food in restaurants? Do we even care who cooked it? 90% of targeted individuals do not realize that the stalking is even taking place. I'm trying to convey a lot while not going too deep here in part 1, just setting the stage for the following parts of this series. I want to give a spoiler alert of sorts. 100% of targeted individuals are empaths. The number one goal is to turn an empath into a sociopath or a psychopath. All gang stalkers are either psychopaths or sociopaths or a hybrid of both. Now, most targeted individuals probably never even heard of the term empath and don't even know they are one. Some may not have tapped the infinite powers of being an empath, and it's not their fault. That doesn't make them any less a target. That doesn't make them any less an empathetic being. The entire population of the world are either empaths, sociopaths, or psychopaths, or hybrids. Hybrids are rare and dangerous. Most targeted individuals succumb to the overwhelming force of gang stalking, while some few instead harden themselves and become hybrids themselves to fight back. I, Chief Sebi Indigenous, am unashamed to say that I am a hybrid, and that I am no longer cool with just accepting being tortured by stalkers and their wicked tools of cruel and unusual punishment. I have been assaulted by their sonic weaponry. I have felt the deadly laser weaponry. I know what it feels like to be in love with the gang stalker. I know what it takes to overcome my emotions and cut off my empathy while yet still remaining civilized and keeping my morals and integrity intact. I'm not doing this podcast for views. Not this podcast. This is personal. Before parting, I want to just say, please, you all know that when I say we must fight back, I do not mean through the physical. I mean we must fight back mentally and spiritually. The war between stalkers and targets is just the war between empaths and socio and psychopaths. The war is on the spiritual realm and of the mind. Gang stalkers cannot physically harm you. This is a little known fact that I have to share. They cannot physically harm you. Now, as I conclude this podcast, I want to just give a few warnings. Be careful of your health. If you are in immediate danger of dying or suffering from a chronic illness, stay away from these hospitals, please. Especially if you know you're actively being stalked. Please do not send your blood into these ancestry DNA companies, 23andMe or any of them. Please avoid using GPS as much as possible. Please remember, do not lash out or run to the police if being overwhelmed by gang stalking activity. Instead, pray and stand your ground. Not to offend anyone, but I would like to say a short prayer over all listeners listening to this podcast. A gift from me to you. Dear Lord, let us not be shaken off our square. Let us stand firm in the presence of evil. Let our minds, bodies, and spirits not be tampered with by the accursed Shaitan or his legion of jinn. Protect our families and let their hearts be hardened no longer. Open our families' eyes so that they may see the terror being inflicted upon us. Unclog their ears so that they may hear our sincerity and also discern the dishonesty and evil of Iblis and his minions who seek to alienate us from them. Place a seal on our entire beings that we shall not be harmed, and also the beings of our family. Protect us, Lord. Amen. I'm not a part of any organized religion, you all. I do not believe in beliefs at all. There's only two things in this world, truth and falsehood. The only thing I want to share is the truth to you all, is that there is only one God, period. He is the creator and nothing is equal to him, period. If you accept that, then all is well. If you don't accept that, still, all is well. This is an unbiased channel. I am Indigenous Realist the Realist, aka Chief Sebi Indigenous. Email me at indigenous2christ@gmail.com. Please, you all, be careful. Hit that like button. I don't even care about the likes. I don't care about... Make sure you share and make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on all. You won't want to miss any one of these podcasts. Peace, you all. I will be uploading frequently. And remember, I am you. I mean, I'm not perfect, but who is? And if I'm not the truth, then who is? Well, I had to lose my sons. I'm a real father. I love those two kids, and they not baby ghosts, and we not right. And that's not right, because I love my children. They are gone, but I'm going to keep building, and I'm going to continue to shake the foundation when I'm in the building. I fasted away 55 pounds in 44 days. So standing tall like I still sell that gas like no midget. I lost all my cash like no more digits. Had to cut off my locks like no more ceilings. You can't encompass me, I'm in due bounds, but no ceilings. No matter how hungry I am, no stealing. I mean no stealing. Never stealing. Still behind my walls of my integrities, that's my fortress. And I ain't gonna say her name, but I still love my old chick. My heart is gorgeous, and I'ma find a woman that I ain't looking for. And my spirit shines so bright. Bring your shades when you look at the sun. Y'all should see how my city treats me. I'm just a vagabond. I now know how the eyes feel when the stable look at a bomb. It's so hard for me not to run straight to a gun. Whoever thought I'd be shunned gave so much away. For me, I ain't keep none. Stressless and sexless like the eulogy of a nun. And it can sound crazy, but I think that I won. And it may sound crazy, but I think that I won. I mean, except for my sons. I miss JoJo and Mari. Every day I sing a song called Daddy Is Sorry. How the fuck was I supposed to know that your mother would cohort me? Damn, how the fuck was I supposed to know that shit? Thought we were equals, why I feel like you just wanted to outsmart me. Let me find out you part of the beautiful but heartless. You threw me to the gutter like I was just straight garbage. Maintaining through the struggle, trying to avoid picking up my carbon. And I love the hustle, but I can't face no more charges. Trying to escape Texas, but they screaming, hold 'em. And I'm screaming, bitch, I'm cardless. Still keep my poker face up, it's the hardest. Maybe one day I'll be great, make it through the struggle like Mar did. Being all alone makes you talk to God where the heart is. Maybe one day I'll make it through the struggle just like Mar did. Being all alone makes you talk to God where the heart is. Damn, where should I start this? I miss my kids, I got 5 kids now. One on the way and I think I'm in there. I'm trying to win, but I can't even grind with it. I'm trying to keep on going, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Chief Sebi Indigenous the Realist, and I'm gone. Higher, power. I love you all. Share the message, y'all. If you've been actively stalked, it's time to fight back. Through the mental and the physical. Or not the physical, pardon yourself. Through the mental and the spiritual, y'all. I love you all. Peace. Well met. Great to have you all here. Let's build.